Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 11 and see how this particular iPhone holds up in the mid-year of 2024. Now, there's been a lot of changes and a lot of movement that this phone has kind of experienced since the beginning of this year. So we'll talk about that throughout this whole entire video. First of all, if you still want to pick up this phone, links are down in the description. You can get them from there. You can help support the channel at the same exact time. Now, the big thing to keep in mind with the iPhone 11 is that there's been a lot of cool things that this phone has kind of experienced. And the big thing is software. But the exterior is still about the same thing. Not much has changed. You're still getting that 6.1 inch display. It's a Retina IPS panel compared to the competition, especially even like some budget phones or mid-tier phones that came out this year, like the Samsung Galaxy A15 and the Google Pixel 8a. Those phones are giving you like 90 Hz or 120 Hz displays. The A15 is very surprising because that's like an extreme budget phone, and the fact that we're getting like an OLED 90 Hz display on that thing is crazy. The iPhone 11 has an IPS panel, but this thing did come out in 2019, so we can't really hate on this phone too much from that particular side. It still has a notch up top. You're getting a little bit of bezel around it. Nothing super crazy, like nothing we haven't already seen before, but just some standard stuff that you'd probably expect on the majority of like basic phones that you get nowadays. On the bottom, lightning port, and on the back side, dual camera setup, glass back, wireless charging, same old IP certification as well. So it's still a good looking phone. I think this device is still like a pretty decent device when it comes down to it. So nothing super crazy, but definitely there are way better improvements and way better devices out there than this particular device. So kind of keep that in mind when it comes down to it. The cameras are still pretty good. Wide and ultra wide camera. Again, they're 4K 60 on the front and the back, which is something that's actually very nice. So you're able to go ahead and still have this type of capability of having a pretty good device for the most part without it being super insane or without being, super expensive. And I do think for having 4K 60 is like the basic necessity nowadays. And I actually do like the fact that we're getting these types of devices, back then that are aging pretty well in this day and age. So kind of keep that in mind as well. Now, on top of that, the software was kind of the big thing going on here for the most part. So with the iPhone 11, you're basically getting a device that is basically giving you software support for a long period of time. But it was giving you a long period of time. Now it's a little bit of a different process. And this is mostly because this device is kind of stuck in this weird situation where, it might be ending off with software support like sooner than later. So it's not really going to be like the longest lasting phone anymore in terms of software. And that kind of is the problem when you're getting a device like this. You probably want to get a phone that's going to be supported for a long period of time if you're buying it. And this device really isn't going to be giving you that. And I would hate for you to go and buy a device if it's already going to be outdated with software by the time you buy it. And that is for more or less kind of what's going on when you're getting this type of device. So keep that in mind, not like the biggest deal in the world or anything, but just one of those things that just kind of keep in mind in the back of your head. But I will still tell you with the iPhone 11, you've gotten a lot of software updates throughout this whole entire year. And I think that is a legendary thing in and of itself. We got a lot of software improvements and software updates going on for this device. And I do think this in and of itself is a super cool thing going on for this particular phone. And if I'm going through and getting a device, I like the fact that this phone has given us so many software updates and everything, but also a lot of features going on, within it, when it first came out, which is so cool in and of itself. So I will tell you, in my personal opinion, the iPhone 11, when it comes down to everything, including the performance, holds up fairly well. It's kind of what you'd expect for like a 5-year-old phone, but honestly, it kind of gives me a better experience than what I would have expected from a 5-year-old phone. When this phone first came out, if you thought about a phone from 2014, that was, 5 years before 2019, and that was like an iPhone 6. It held up okay, but I think a 5-year-old phone nowadays holds up better than a 5-year-old phone 5 years ago. So pretty interesting stuff. I still like the iPhone 11. I still think it's worth buying for the most part. And I guess we're just going to have to wait and see how it holds up in the next 5 years. So that pretty much covers it up here. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely have to hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.